Rainer, what do you think are the most interesting issues coming out of this conference?
So, to say this, I would prefer to wait till it is ended. So.
Okay, what sessions have you been to, and what do you think are the issues in those sessions?
All I visited. I hoped it was linked to one, I think, core question which is only important for VET systems, but I think it's the relationship between science and policy. So we have a tendency in the European scene in general to apply more or less scientific methods. So under the slogan of evidence-based policy. But what I find out in the policy itself, especially from the European Commission and the funding of projects and so on, I think it may lead to something totally different, to policy-based evidence. So I was looking for colleagues, subjects which deal about this, because it's a very critical situation for scientific advisory.
Yes.
So we just, without knowing it, realizing it, directly part of their policy. And so I was very keen in hearing something about it, and up to now there was no real interesting contribution. So let me say, from this point of view, I'm a little bit disappointed.
So we have this theme of evidence-based policy, but the reality, you think, is that
policy-based evidence.
Yeah, the policy is driving the project.
They need us to hear that it was successful what they did by our support. And I can't find any aims which have an independent relevance from this evidence or this policy.
I have to admit, I probably agree with you. How do you think we can change that?
I don't have a real idea, but I think what won't help anymore is to concentrate or focus on strictly empirical methods, because they only depict what the reality is, independently of what made this reality true reality. So we need more or less reflections on the principles, on what is intention and what is not, and so on. And I think of course there is some time to change a little bit, but I think we need a party within our profession which is strictly dedicated not to pure empirical methods, and they need a little bit support.
And does that mean as well that we should be developing a stronger research agenda as a community ourselves?
Exactly. We need a perspective from our community on the community in cooperation with policies. And there must be a more distance of independence. And I don't find it, really. Sometimes the older colleagues, maybe it's a question of age, but the younger colleagues are totally integrated in this kind of thinking. So you give them money, you tell them what you want to have, and they deliver it.
Is it a question just of age, but of
it's
funding?
Service, scientific service, not research.
Is that as well a question of funding? That in the past universities funded more core research. Now we are project-driven in our aims.
We have support by advisors, professionals, who the Commission is asked to have more evaluation on the success or failure of projects. They give they ask for service in that question, and now we are facing. I don't need to tell you names, but now we face some groups of very intelligent young people evaluating what we are doing. So, but from the construction, from the structure itself, they have a position below the scientists.
Yes.
And this can't work if you don't need scientists, but you need an authority below scientists. Then what are the scientists good for?
But that means more independence for the research community, and that means more independence for universities.
Exactly, and at least a different understanding of evaluation and the criteria of what is a success and what is a failure in projecting the European policy.
Yes. And that is a rather key message around the whole theme of the conference, I think.
If I don't see this contribution, I know that it has reached the right persons.
You will see this contribution. Thank you.